Here we go for our next project, the city project. The first thing that you guys need to do is you need to create a folder on your desktop. So we'll go File, New Folder, and then title it whatever your city is. So you could say Maui. And then you need to go to the internet and find 4 photos of your city. One is a background photo, one panoramic photo, and 2 elements. If you choose Maui, go out and search what are tourist attractions or a famous statue or something that you can talk about. Okay, now we're going to go to Photoshop. We're going to go to Go, Applications, Photoshop, Photoshop, and wait for it to load. All right, now we're going to go File, New, and we are going to create a new document, 11 by 8.5, and create. All right. Now the first thing we're going to do, and I had already downloaded my pictures, um, is we're going to go File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to put in my background picture. Okay, now while holding down the Shift button, I'm going to drag this picture to cover the white space. All right, I'm happy with that. Covered all the white space, so I'm going to place it by checking the check at the top. All right, the next thing I want you guys to do is to add some kind of effect to your background. I'm going to blur mine, so I'm going to go Filter, Blur, and then Gaussian Blur. And you can use the slider here to make it a little less or a little more, and then hit OK. All right, now I am going to add my font, and this is where you can do something fun. You can open your browser and you can go to defont.com, and then you can search all these different fonts here. Let's see if I can find a Disney font. Oh, look at there. You want to find something that's kind of thick. All right, and then I'm just going to drag this to my desktop. Let's go find it. There it is, double click, and then you'll either get one like this or you'll get a little file, and we're going to install the font. That's all there is to it. Okay? All right, so now I'm going to go back to Photoshop. Your font will already be in there. I'm going to go to the text tool, and I'm going to make a big text box across the top. Okay, and I'm going to go to I think my font was called Walter. So let's go find that right there. And we're going to say Disneyland. Oh, my box isn't quite big enough. Let's stretch this a little bigger. There we go. And now I'm gonna click on the move tool because I want to center this a little bit. Okay, well, now here's the next cool part. This is your new kind of masking. It's called clipping mask. So we're gonna File, Place Embedded again. I'm gonna go back and get my panoramic picture. Okay. If it's not long enough, I need to hold the Shift button. This needs to be able to cover my font. Okay. There we go. I'm going to move this up over and then place it. All right, here's how you use the clipping mask. You're going to go Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And there you go. It puts the photo behind the letters. I'm going to, you can use the Move tool to move the picture inside the letters. Okay. Oh, I need to move that back just a little bit. All right. Now I'm going to go over here to my type layer, and I want to add a stroke to mine so it defines it a little bit better. And that's the color I want, but I don't want it, oh, I don't want it quite so thick. So I'll go to this. I want it to be a little thinner outside. Oops, maybe it's this one. There we go. Okay. All right, what's next? Now we are going to go right down here to this little, oh, we need to click on our top layer. Oh, cancel. And we're going to go right down here to this little piece of paper that looks, it looks like a little piece of paper with the corner folded over. And we're going to click on that to add a new layer. Okay, then we're going to grab this shape tool and, oh, I'm sorry. No, we're not. We're going to grab the clipping or the marquee tool. I'm going to make an oval, but remember you can um, right click if you want to do, hold the control button and you can right click and do the rectangle or the ellipse. I'm going to do an ellipse here. All right, now we're going to hit Option, Delete. Okay, that gets rid of that. Then I'm going to go File, Place Embedded, and I'm going to bring in my next picture. I'm going to need to resize this guy, so while holding the Shift button, okay, I think make it a little bit smaller even. Put it over, and then over the shape that I clipped out, hit the checkbox. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go right over here in between my layers, and while holding the Option button, wait for that little check mark and box to show up, and then right click. There you go. And you can go back to the Move tool and move your photo around inside so it's center. Okay. I'm also going to go back to the layer and click out here because I want to add a stroke to match my other. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again with our other picture. So I am going to do the same thing all over again. This time I want a rectangle. So Option, right click, rectangle. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to do an important part. We have to add another layer first. Each one needs to be on a separate layer. That was my fault. Okay, so we're going to that, and what's next? Option, Delete, and then File, Place Embedded, go get my other picture, and then while I'm holding the Shift key, shrink it down. Okay, that looks good, and then I'm going to place it. Okay, then remember, while holding the Option key, go hover between layer 2 and your photo, wait for the little down pointing arrow and box to show up, and then right click. Okay, I'm going to get the Move tool and center this guy a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my layer and add a stroke so it matches. All right, and then the last thing, just like your other project, you're going to get the shape tool. Okay, and we will add, a, why did it move? Mm, let's delete that. Cancel. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, so let's get up here. We're going to get our move tool. Let's add a new layer. And we'll make our shape tool, make a shape. Okay, that's what I forgot to do, was add a new layer. And then we're going to double click out here, and I want to change the opacity, just like we did in our last project. And I want to add a stroke. Okay, and then type tool, and let's get a, oh, we don't want our font to be that big, maybe 10. And we can type our, let's see what Disney. I'm going to use a different font color here. It's probably, let's go to black so you can see it. Disneyland is in Anaheim, California. And you can go on and write your sentences about your place. And then at the very end, before you go to turn it in, File, Save As, name it your place, Disneyland, save it to your desktop, and then save it as a JPEG. That's the important part. Some of you guys missed that in the first one. And then hit save. Okay, and that's it for your project.